So we're going to do our predictions for 2022. I did it last time, didn't do too bad, but this time could be a lot different. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new, subscribe, hit the bell button and leave a like, it majorly helps. Now, for a bit of fun, it is for fun, we're going to do some predictions for the upcoming year. Now, I want to put some thoughts on it. I'm going to explain what I'm doing throughout and we'll react to it in probably December next year, providing everything's hunky-dory and we're all still here and alive and all kinds of good stuff, right? So I want to offer you first my thoughts, right? In terms of the market. There we go. My thoughts. It's been a good year. It's been a fantastic year in all fairness. A lot of people are thinking it's been a bit of a rubbish year, but again, I want to, talk about timing. Timing in the market is important. If you buy at the right time, if you buy the right thing, you're going to do well. And I did 2 tweets over the course of yesterday. What has been the best asset? What has been the worst asset? In both of those, it was the same asset all the time. It's always about timing. Some people's worst performing assets was Cardano. Some people's worst performing assets was Cardano. It's just a look of timing. It really is. And I've always said this, time in the market, timing and experience is the main things that you need to get. If you're new, stick with it. Stick with the course and ultimately learn. If you want more content, by the way, Patreon below. Also, I have courses. So there's all kinds of materials there to help you if you like my style. Not everyone does, because I'm a bit forward, I'm a bit blunt, and I come across as a bit of a dickhead, but I'm not. I do apologize. So let's talk about other things. The market has gone from $50 billion in a matter of 18 months to $2 trillion in the overall market cap, excluding BTC, at one point in this market time. That's a lot. I don't think we're early anymore. Personally, I think we are in a mix of a bull run. And I also think in 2022, caveat for some of my predictions here, I think we will see a bear market. I think the market cycle will end in this year. Okay, so bear that in mind with some of the stuff I've been talking about and why I've said certain things, then you may understand it, because I've got experience of what happened last time and there's certain things that don't really tickle my fancy at the moment, but they could do in the future. So let's talk about the first prediction, right? And I've gone with $89,000. I think the next and the last leg up for Bitcoin is going to be this. Now, this may be hugely disappointing for some people, but personally, I think this will be brilliant either way due to my entry point. If that happens, I'll be more than 100x on BTC. And I know people don't want to hear that, but it's all about timing. And I've been reading tweets about it going to 240k, and I do think it could do that, but not in the next year. Personally, I think we will see another bear market, then we will see essentially another leg from there. That's my personal opinion, my personal thoughts. Do not, invest off this advice, obviously. But I just think going to like 200, 300k, even though I've talked about it in terms of a long-term, Fibonacci extension on previous videos, saying, yeah, cool. But I specifically said in that video, I'm not putting a time frame on this because it could happen within 3 years, could happen within 10 years, I don't know. Too many people think that this is a year of accumulation and then we're going to absolutely rocket bang in 2022. I don't know. I personally don't know. Yeah, don't get me wrong. If it does happen, great. But I think looking at the, the market and saying, oh, Bitcoin's $89,000, you're probably thinking, whew, cool. Accumulate it. You may well find it might be a good coin in a bear market. Just saying. I also think Ethereum as well. Now, I know people will probably think, I don't really like Ethereum. It's all right. I mean, it's expensive to use, and it is probably one of the safest coins you probably could buy. But you've also got other caveats to the market, which will become more apparent in 2022. And I will talk about that when we come to it in terms of use case of the year. Now, when we talk about it, Ethereum is going to start getting more and more rivals. We're already seeing that. We're seeing Avalanche, for example, Solana. We're also going to see, other layer 1 blockchains on the likes of the Kusama and the Polkadot ecosystem that will support the smart contracts of Ethereum, therefore making it more possible to do certain things without using the Ethereum network. We all know Ethereum 2.0 should be good and it should be out. It's not. But we also know that people are getting frustrated, certainly developers, and they're leaving Ethereum and then going on to other chains. They're building on Substrate, they're putting it on other protocols. It's just one of those things. If the market turns, this is the thing, all the NFT transactions, all the DeFi transactions could be on other chains and also could not even be there if the market sentiment crashes. So I'm not massively over the top bullish in Ethereum because I think it's done incredibly well in 2021 and also 2020. It's got to turn around at some point. It's got to do something. And we all remember what happened in the last bull market. What happened? The market sentiment died off. It dropped because a lot of things are powered on Ethereum. It needs the volumes. It needs the transactions. NFTs go, DeFi's go, smart contracts, transactions go down. Guess what's going to happen, boys and girls? That price is going to fall. So $6,000 is my optimum, I think. I don't think it's going to go over 10. I may be wrong. It needs a proper solution and it doesn't have it even yet. Even me talking about it today, it is still pretty shit. It is expensive. It's just one of those things and it needs sorted. Next one, Binance. We'll talk about Binance. I think with the smart chain and stuff like that, I don't know if that's still staying or going around or whatever it's doing. I always think the Binance machine is going to be big. And I do think, even though it's not really a massive jump up from current prices, I think it will probably be pretty stable. And this is one of my contenders for coin of the year, by the way, because it will be stable. People will be using it for buying and selling and earning, and also the smart chain. So it might actually have a good utility. But I've picked something else, realistically. So just be careful with, what your utilities are. And a lot of people don't like Binance, and I know this. And a lot of people have gone over to Qcoin, for example, or even using FTX and stuff like that. But for me, I still think Binance is a huge powerhouse. Not just like, in terms of that, we're seeing commercial sponsors now all over the world, right? We're seeing Crypto.com in the likes of, well, obvious really, F1. You got Binance in the likes of football. It's starting to grow in a good way, but will a bear market stop, football clubs and F1 teams and other rugby teams, whatever it may be, not use crypto brands anymore because bear market volatility, FCA, yeah, you get the picture. So we'll see how it goes. But personally, I think $800. Now, the market cap, I think we will see 5 trillion. And I didn't want to go too deep on this because the market cap is a subjective narrative. It is if more and more coins are built, and more new stuff come onto the market, it's a problem. We're going to see already, and I'm going to talk about it, Polkadot with the likes of Akala and Moonbeam. Both of those got like $2 trillion between them in contributions, right, of DOT. It's going to put a massive market cap on these assets. A few more parachains come out, they could be coming out into the billions anyways. That's going to just increase it. And each one of those are going to potentially have a load of dApps, a load of different coins, layer 2s and stuff, and potential new variants. But you got to think all the meme coins, all the NFT copies, all the Masternode copies, they all get money. And if you think, well, within a week we tend to get like 1,000 new coins randomly, and only about 200 get listed on CoinMarketCap, so it's always going to keep increasing. But we don't know what the true nature is of that market cap. I think you should remove certain things off it, but personally that's my opinion. So I think we will go up to 5 trillion. I think we will double. But I don't think we'll triple. I don't think we'll quadruple. I don't think we'll go even higher than that personally. I just think 5 trillion could be a potential ceiling. We may not even get there. That's quite optimistic at the moment. Moving on to coin of the year. And I'm saying it now. I'm going to go Bitcoin. Why? People are going to be like, what? Well, we've got to look at the past. If, this is a caveat, if the market does turn and we go into a bear market, which is what the little cute bear's for, this will probably hold its value more than most coins. I said the word there, most. The BTC dominance is currently around 39-40%. If the BTC dominance goes up to 60%, you know that this is going to be coin of the year because you will hold a lot of Satoshis. If you are holding your altcoins, you will get wrecked. You will get battered because they will go down probably higher in USD price. They will also go down because they're not, holding the value versus BTC. A lot of people will sell into other things, i.e. Bitcoin or stable currencies, therefore weakening altcoins. So if the bear market is upon us at some point in the next year, chances are if Bitcoin will go down, but it won't go down as severe. For example, what I mean by this is, as an example, in the last bear market, we had Bitcoin go down roughly about 82%, and we had altcoins going down 90 to 95%, even higher in some cases. The likes of Cardano went down 98% as an example. It's a lot of money to lose. But the caveat was holding your Satoshis. If you held Cardano, you would have lost USD and obviously your BTC value. So you're best off just putting it into stables and holding BTC and just waiting for things to play out and then re-enter the altcoins that you like. Personal thoughts. Anyways, next one, flop of the year. This is probably going to be controversial because it's going off two big metrics. One, the use case. It's all right, it's good. But the second thing is VCs, and the most important thing, what it's done this year. It's been a fantastic coin. You probably know exactly which one I want to say. Solana. Now, this doesn't mean it's a bad coin. All I'm saying is you will probably see some negative press if it doesn't do anything next year. That's all I'm going to say. And maybe, as I said with Luna, maybe the time is not to buy it right now. Even if it does go up and we go into a bear market, there's a lot of VCs in this. It's still on a beta main chain, as in like a beta chain. It's had a few little off issues, and it's done a ridiculously great price growth. If you are a holder of this, great. You've made a lot of money. But I wouldn't encourage people to buy it saying it's the next best thing, because realistically, this could do a Chainlink. Chainlink had a great year, and then it had a bit of a meh year. Doesn't change anything. The fundamentals are still there. However, this has kind of got a little ilk to Chainlink, where Chainlink's got a huge developer wallet. This has got a lot of VCs in it, which is where the whole kickoff's been about with the VC, Web3, all that kind of bollocks, right? So just be mindful of buying this, thinking, oh, I want to buy Solana. Cool, yeah. I'd say the same with a lot of top 10 coins. They could become flops because it's a bear market, and the media narrative will be, it's done shit. Well, yeah, obviously, because it's a bear market. But things like this will stick out like a sore thumb. Like, wow, look at that. That's gone down massively. I mentioned it before, Cardano in the last one went to like $1.40, then went down to 2 cents. It's a huge drop. I'm not saying that's going to go down to 2 cents, obviously, but what I will say is you may well find that this will probably hurt more than others. You got VCs on it, you got people buying tops, and ultimately you got a use case that could be trickling down because it's market sentiment based. dApps, ecosystems, all kinds of good stuff. And it's not fully live yet. So who knows? That's my personal thoughts, obviously. Don't curse me. Next one, use case of the year. I'm going multi-chain. Now, I could have said metaverse, but I'm also wary that it's new. It's still very much like developing, and I think this is ready to go. What I mean by that is you've got parachains on both Kusama Network and Polkadot, and you've also got the element on Atom as well. Atom's really good too. It's a great alternative. You've also got other ecosystems, which you'll see in the next slide, that probably will rise up a little bit because they are a good ecosystem with interoperability. What does that mean? Communication with other blockchains. As I've already mentioned before, Ethereum is shit, and ultimately you need to talk to another chain to get it cheaper, i.e. sending your tether to somewhere else utilizing another chain, BSC chain, for example, or the Tron chain. This is a bit different. A lot of the contracts, in terms of smart contracts, will communicate with these chains, making things really easy, and also they can communicate with each other. The Bitcoin chain, also Polkadot, can communicate with the likes of Atom, and most importantly, things like Near Protocol. You've obviously got the Binance Smart Chain. The list is endless, realistically. Obviously, Avalanche as well, within that, is a one where you can obviously communicate with the Ethereum chain. So is Solana. So you can kind of get the picture here. I think multi-chain will do well because multiple assets can communicate with each other and making it a fair price for everyone, and also a fair utility of transactional speed. There we go. Lastly, let's talk about it. Now, I've done it a little bit different to last time. There's a few emissions, I know that. There's quite a few. I didn't want to fit everything on. But I've done the top 5 because I think it's very, very subjective to go, oh, I'll do the top 20. But I'll put a load in there that I like, and I think that will do well and remain probably pretty steady in terms of an actual asset that will probably most likely survive. The thing is, and I want to talk about it just before I go on to this and unravel some of this, right? A lot of projects will die, basically. Now, not maybe the ones in the top 20, top 50, top 100 right now, most of them will probably survive. But if you're like buying gems because someone on Twitter's told you to, and it's just been released 2 days ago, and you think it should do fucking really well in the future, chances are it's probably not. So just be mindful of stuff like that. Just honestly, please be careful, because if a bear market does come around, you will get slaughtered. But in terms of that, I think we've got roughly 16,000 at the moment coins recognized on CoinMarketCap. what do you reckon? 500 to 1,000 will probably survive a bear market, probably. Ones with decent treasury funds. All the rest will probably... They may well be there in a skeleton form, but the developers will go, I'm away, I'm going to McDonald's because I am ruined, basically, right? So be careful. Now, I think top 5, BTC, Ethereum, Tether, Binance, and USDC. That's boring, I know. But realistically, you got to think, if there is a bear market, which is where the slant of this video is, we've got to look at what stablecoins are going to do. They're probably going to grow, and probably in the top 10 we might get another one. We might get the Luna US, the Luna dollar in there as well. Yeah, I know. We might even get DAI a lot further up. You just don't know, right? So we've got to be careful with stuff like that. But I think in 2022, I think we're going to see a much bigger, ecosystem plaque of good coins that are obviously interoperable. They're building ecosystems. Coins that grow in the bear market in terms of developments and updates and all kinds of good stuff, they'll stick out like a donkey's stick. They really will, and you can buy them at a good fair price. So I think Near Protocol will do well. I think the likes of VeChain will probably stick around and probably do all right. Likes of Matic, Polygon, Atom, even A-Star, relatively good smart contract platform, a Parachain, Elrond, I think Hedra Hashgraph, even Chainlink will be kicking on realistically. Polkadot, Kusama, even the likes of some of the new ones, Moonbeam and Akala probably be pretty high up. Obviously, Luna, Cardano, even Solana, even though I think it might be a bit of a flop, I still think it'll be absolutely fine, even though there's still a bit of grey area between the VCs and what could happen maybe in the bear market. But I still think when you look at the ecosystem, what they've got, that's pretty more than enough to survive. But this is obviously my overall thoughts. I've obviously left a few omissions out there. I've left out exchange coins for obvious reasons because it's kind of really, obvious. Likes of Crypto.com, Marketing Kings. I think Qcoin probably be pretty much fine. There's a lot of coins in there I did miss out. But as I say, I didn't want to just fill it up. But a lot of those are kind of like, if you were to take a snapshot of those and think, well, maybe they might be all right, I think most of them will probably, survive. And that's what you want. You want survival more than anything. Don't think too much about, I want to just make money constantly all the time. In a bear market, you might be sitting on your hands earning a passive yield on the likes of Swissborg, BlockFi, Nexo, whatever it may be, waiting for things to happen, just waiting and chilling. Take your profit, relax, chill out, learn as much as you can, and find some coins that you've properly researched and you've properly bought into and you properly like, and you bought at the correct levels. You can utilize crowd loans throughout this period. You can utilize all kinds of stuff like that as well. That will help. Anyways, I hope you enjoy. Don't slaughter me. But we'll react to this at some point in the future. See how many of these survive. See what looks actually quite good. See what is in the top 20, essentially. Because that is essentially what could be the top 20. Who knows? Maybe.